This video is proudly sponsored by Gamersgate. Download games anytime, anywhere. Visit Gamersgate.com.
Welcome to Elder Geeks Elder Speak. Today is April 20th, 2012. My name is Randy Yasenchak. I'm the owner and editor of ElderGeek.com. With me today is Norway's most notorious gamer. He is a Viking and an all-around. What else could I say nice about you? You're Norway's most famous video gamer. You're a Viking, and you. How many swings does it take for you to fell a tree? 2 or 3?
Wait, swings?
Yeah.
Don't you just lean against it?
Welcome back, Mots.
Thank you.
Today we've actually got... This weekend, there's really not a whole lot of news going on, but the news we have is kind of big and fun and exciting, and so I'm sure that as soon as most of these people hear it, if they're even going to be listening to this episode today, then they're just going to stop the episode and then go start playing. You know, first things first, this weekend is Diablo 3's open beta weekend.
Hell yeah.
Everywhere you go on the internet, everybody is just dashing to play the Diablo 3 open beta.
I actually played an hour of it right before we started this podcast, or show, or whatever you want to call it, with 4 friends. And I gotta tell you, the wait has been worth it. It seems... this isn't like a final opinion or anything, but that'll be in the review, obviously. But it seems right. Everything is right with the world now that the Diablo 3 has come out.
Well, and the best part is it's free this weekend. You cannot beat that. It's kind of a shame that, you know, here on the East Coast it's a gorgeous weekend. So it's gonna stay, and it's also towards the end of the school year. So everybody that's still in college and everything like that, they're gonna be like, shoot, study for finals or play Diablo 3.
You'll get a kick out of this, though. My character is a witch doctor, and he is called something I think you'll appreciate.
BillyWitchDoctor.com.
Exactly.
Arise, chicken.
Chicken, arise. BillyWitchDoctor.com. Work mostly in chicken.
One convenient location in Africa. All right, enough of that awesomeness. But alongside the Diablo 3 open beta this weekend is also Tera's open beta this weekend. So if you're Tera is more of a large MMO versus Diablo, which is a, you know, I don't even know if it's considered an MMO. It's just kind of a co-op RPG.
Yeah.
But 2 completely different flavors, 2 completely different types of RPG experiences, both free for the weekend. And Shen is quite addicted to Tera. He's just nonstop gushing over the game, which I guess is a really good sign, you know?
I have a lot of friends that have wanted me for months now to join them in the closed beta and you know, wreak havoc, but I don't know, for some reason it just doesn't appeal to me as much.
I see this actually kind of wraps back. This will make an awesome segue into the next story that we have. I have kind of slowly been falling out of love with MMOs ever since my first love with MMOs, and that's Ultima Online. Ultima Online is, I could easily say, one of my favorite games of all time. Easily. But ever since then, it doesn't seem like... There have been good ones, but there have been few that have really nailed it. But...
I think... I feel like they're stagnating. They're just using the same formula over and over again. Obviously, there are a few that sort of deviate from this path. Some might say Guild Wars, others might say Tera, and what's the Norwegian one? Secret World.
Oh, yeah. But there's that one. You know, one that I actually did enjoy that kind of went off the path a little bit was City of Heroes. But...
Then again, that sort of created a new path, though, because then you had... DC Universe Online, which is basically the same thing, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But this actually works as an awesome segue because somebody actually sent me an email today calling my attention to this Kickstarter for Grim Dawn, an open-world RPG game that looks like a crossbreed between Diablo and Ultima Online, and it's got me really interested. And this is actually... Grim Dawn is looking to be the spiritual successor to Titan Quest. So anybody out there that knows about Titan Quest knows that it was like an awesome I don't want to call it a spiritual sequel, but anybody who liked games like Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 loved Titan Quest.
Yep. I'm gonna say also even though it's a Kickstarter and they don't appear to be. Oh, actually, they're doing quite well already. They're almost halfway to their goal, but it already looks like it might be at least a beta-worthy game. So it looks quite developed already. So
yeah, it seems like the team that's behind this is a really talented team, and they've definitely got a lot of skills behind them. It's not like their business plan is A, collect money, and then B, learn how to make a game.
Yeah.
This looks like they really know what they want, and what I'm seeing so far just looks ridiculous. And I normally don't gush this much over a Kickstarter, but this one really has me salivating.
Well, speaking of someone who just 5 minutes ago played Diablo, this game, graphically, at the very least, looks actually better than Diablo at the early stages that it is in right now.
So, how ridiculous is that?
Yeah, and I mean, sure, you might make the argument that Diablo doesn't look its best because it's in a beta and they haven't really included all the all the features, graphical features, but still, that's really impressive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Diablo, not throwing a rock at Blizzard and Diablo and what they're doing with Diablo, but Blizzard has kind of found this niche for themselves where they are trying to cater to the wider audience, and graphically they have been, not trying to push the envelope like they used to a long time ago.
But
there was a time when Diablo and Diablo 2 were badass looking games.
Exactly. But I want to say though, in the Blizzard's defense again, even though you weren't really attacking them, they have this really, really good quality in the graphics of their games where they can make something run on almost anything yet still look great. Because they use something that a lot of game developers these days seem to have forgotten, which is art styling over just graphical intensity.
Yes, absolutely. Plus, the gameplay for Diablo 1 and 2 are just built on completely solid gameplay experiences, totally addictive games that you could still play today. If there was never a Diablo 3 ever to come out, I would still play Diablo 1 and 2 and be completely happy with them.
Definitely.
So,
yep.
Yeah. One other final little bit of tidbit of news today is Tetsuya Nomura actually hinted at a sequel to The World Ends With You. The World Ends With You was a DS RPG, Square RPG, that only kind of got a cult following. It always seems to be one of those games that everybody's like, hey, if you love JRPGs, you should really go check out World Ends With You. I played it. I didn't super love it, but I didn't hate it either. But it's nice to see that they're hinting at a sequel to it.
I actually never played the game, but I will say I loved the first Kingdom Hearts, which obviously he's also very well known for. I still haven't played the second one first. I have it, I don't know, haven't found the time, I guess.
It's a very different experience from Kingdom Hearts.
That's what I've heard, and the thing I really loved about the original Kingdom Hearts was the Disney stuff. And just how I mean, just the feeling you got when you went and met Aladdin and went to these different universes and stuff. It just it clicked for me. I've heard rumors that maybe Kingdom Hearts 2 doesn't have quite the same appeal, so I'm a little scared. But that said, I mean, I'm a fan of his work. I hear that The World Ends With You is a fantastic game, so I don't know. I'm just not a portable gamer, so yeah.
To be honest with you, The World Ends With You, I think would have done so much better if they took it and they were like, all right, it was a good game, but let's port this over to PSN and Xbox Live Arcade. They really should have done that. They would have reached so many more people, and I don't know. JRPGs are a mix of they're either really awesome portably or they're couch experiences.
Yeah. I don't really have anything to add to that. I would say that maybe from what I've seen of it, it would be weird. I don't know. It uses both the screens on the DS, doesn't it? Where it has like very integral gameplay design for those, doesn't it?
It does, but there's no reason why they couldn't transfer that into some sort of HUD on the screen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they could is what I'm saying. They could easily make it a game controller kind of thing. But Yeah, that's it. There's really not much else in terms of news going on today, which is great, because that means there's more time for everybody else to actually go out there and play. But Mats, I'm not letting you go just yet.
All right.
I am actually going to hold you to the fire a little bit, because after I posted my video for favorite Skyrim mods, you disagreed with me on some of my mods, and you actually pointed me towards a few mods that are now, whenever we do a sequel to this favorite Skyrim mods, that I absolutely love now. So what are some of the mods that you play with right now, and which mods would you have not picked if I picked them?
What I wouldn't have picked if you picked them, I'm not sure. I'm actually, like many of the people in the comments, I'm actually a fan of Sky UI. I think it's just, sure, it makes the interface experience with inventory screen and that stuff, it makes it a little too different maybe from the original Skyrim interface, but
Yeah.
But I think it works great, and it really helps me with keeping track of all my stuff, and especially the spells interface is just so improved with that. So I really like it.
That I could see, but there was everybody was like, well, there's Sky UI, but to me personally, the reason why I didn't put it on there is because it's the only other interface mod for it doesn't mean that it's automatically better, or that it is going to be the best mod that there will ever be for interface modding.
Also, it's not quite as intuitive to install as the one you listed, so...
Yeah, the other one that I listed was just item sorting, which, to be honest with you, was always like my biggest hang-up with the inventory system. But...
Yeah. Other than that, though, I play a lot. I use like 20 mods right now, at least. I like realistic lighting. That makes dynamic lights more prominent and removes non-dynamic lights. So no longer will you see in taverns or in caves or whatever, just like for some weird magical reason, a part of the cave lit up with like a blue-white light from no apparent reason, no source of the light or anything. So it removes all of those lights, and it just makes the actual, living flames and stuff like that a little bit more intense, and it makes everything darker. So when you go out at night, you can basically see 10 meters in front of you. So if you want to translate meters into feet, I'm not sure what it would be, but it makes the game kind of scary, actually. So I remember one instance where I was walking around an hour after I had installed the mod, and I hadn't really seen the nighttime outside yet. And I was walking around a place that I hadn't explored yet, and suddenly I heard like a growling and the telltale sound effects of a giant walking past me. And anyone knows that with giants, they're kind of neutral, but if you get too close to them, they'll just flip out and attack you, and you'll fly across the map because, it's better.
Yeah. And if you're not blocking, they'll one-shot you every time.
Exactly. And I was level 15 or something at that point, a light armor wearing ranger, so, not a good idea to be messing with a giant. But I couldn't see the giant, that's the thing. I just heard him walk past me, and sometimes he got closer, and I didn't dare move in any direction, because whenever there's a giant there's usually a camp with mammoths and other giants, right?
Yeah.
So I had no idea where to go. And I couldn't fast travel, and I couldn't wait, because, obviously enemies close by. But that just made it so intense, and yeah, I just love that mod. And if you
I agree, dude. Realistic lighting, I honestly have to say, might be my favorite mod to date. Like, even out of like Oblivion, because Oblivion had like total darkness mods and stuff like that, but this one seems to take it a little bit further on. So like now, not only do like when I'm like doing dungeon crawling and stuff, I have to use lighting spells to find my way and to see my way. So I'll use like Mage Light to cast a ball of light to go slowly down the hallway just to see where I can even walk. And I love that.
Yep. It also makes the water look really cool at night, I found.
Yeah. Yep.
The one thing I do also, if you use realistic lighting, you should also install a mod that's called Spells Give Off Light. So you can actually use the torch spell, the flamethrower spell, as a way to guide yourself through dungeons if you don't have a mage light or anything. So when you cast,
ooh, I need to try that.
In the regular game, those things don't give off light, which especially when you have such dark environments as you get with the realistic lighting mod, that just looks really awkward if it doesn't give off light, and when it does, it looks really cool. So I definitely recommend that.
That's awesome. I need to try that one. One mod that I tried out that it's an almost there but not quite is just cloaks. That's all it's called, is just cloaks. I don't know why Bethesda didn't include cloaks and hoods and stuff like that in Skyrim. It blows my mind that they don't exist natively in the game. You know?
Yeah. I mean, look at look at Game of Thrones. How awesome. You know, when you're in a cold place, you want to have a cloak, you know? And and it looks really cool too, so that's a huge plus. And you also you see some of the kings and the jarls, or they're basically kings, but the jarls, they use cloaks. It's just custom made to their character, I guess.
Right, and to be honest with you, this cloaks mod actually looks really good on the guards. Like the guards all have custom cloaks so that they have their realm's symbol on their back, and it works okay for them because all they're doing is walking, and they typically don't have items on their back. But considering that you run a lot and you almost always have arrows or a bow and arrow on your back, you run into all kinds of awkward-looking clipping issues with it, and it. You know, that's kind of what ruins it for me. But it's one of those almost but not quite kind of mods. And it also, the textures on the cloaks don't quite do it for me. I really want Bethesda to make a cloaks official mod.
Yeah, I have the same mod. I think it's called Cloaks of Skyrim, by the way, is the full name.
Is that the full name?
Yeah. Alright. I really like the way it looks when I'm standing completely still. But as soon as I start swinging a sword or anything, I don't really mind having the quivers, because what I actually did is I downloaded another mod that makes the arrows and quivers larger, so it looks more realistic, that with huge ass arrows, and it also pushes them into your back so they don't float outside your bodies. Same with shields, by the way. But yeah, I feel like whenever you move, it needs like good havoc physics, is what I feel like it should have. You know, it just looks weird that it's just sticking out unnaturally into the air when you plunge down a sword or something.
Yeah. I shared one with you the other day that I really liked. There was one that actually increased, or it allowed you to control how often you would get kill cam removes. But I actually pulled that one off because I play mostly as an archer, but I found a way to actually add that code into the Skyrim INI file to increase the number of kills with archer kills, and I enjoy that now. Yeah.
Have you found that the new, because there are kill moves for the archer now, obviously. Have you found that they sort of sometimes are weird? Because the really cool instances is where the camera will follow the arrow, and you see the arrow plunge into the chest or head of the enemy.
Right.
But sometimes it just sort of puts everything in slow-mo and shows you like in a sideways profile when you fire off the arrow without anything more happening, without the camera following the arrow or you seeing the arrow.
Yeah, it's just a close-up of you shooting the arrow.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, there are a few weird ones, and I've also noticed that when it actually integrates the kill cam, that the shot a lot of times won't be as accurate as it will be if you weren't in a kill cam. So you'll actually get a slow-mo shot, but it'll miss because there's something about when the slow-mo kicks in that it actually shifts the direction of the arrow, and it's like, well, that's not where I was aiming at all. And
I actually think it's not that. It's just that the enemy is moving, and for some reason the slow-mo just makes the arrow slower than it has a different time dilation for the arrow and the enemy moving. So
that could be it too. So there'll be a lot of times where I'll be like, wow, that totally should have been a headshot and I got him in the arm, or that totally should have been a headshot and I got him in the hand, or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, let's hear one more mod that you enjoy, a must-have mod from Mott's.
God, I gotta think. Well, like I said, the graphic stuff is really big with me right now, because I definitely get the official Skyrim HD retexture done by Bethesda. You could also get the third-party one, but I found that isn't quite as good. Other than that, I know a lot of people like the is it ENB?
Yeah, they're like the high contrast, like super saturated colors mods.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the hallmark of those mods, but I found one that's really good. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's Superb ENB. It doesn't add that much contrast, but it adds a lot of effects with high dynamic range lighting and focused blurring and depth of field and stuff like that. That I feel like really enhances, especially when you're an archer and you sort of want to focus on your enemy. It really enhances the look of everything, because the background gets a little bit blurred. It looks more cinematic, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And that mod also includes a mod called Real or Better Enhanced Nights, I think it's called, which adds really, really cool looking auroras and star formations and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Mats, thanks for hopping on the show with me. Happy Friday to everybody else. Get out there and play Diablo 3 and Tera all weekend long, because it's free. I mean, there's no better price than free.
Find out which one you prefer and let us know.
Yeah, let's actually talk about that on Monday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have much time playing either one of those this weekend. I've actually got quite a bit going on this weekend. By the way, ElderGeek.com turns 4 this weekend?
Yeah. Which is kind of weird, because we turned 4 and we hit 8,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we had 300 videos just this past week. So.
And we just hit the 3 million view mark too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there was an odd alignment of 8,000 subs and just broke the 3 million mark. So there's an odd alignment of math going on there with our 4-year anniversary.
Yep.
Happy 4 years, brother.
Yeah, same to you, man.
All right, everybody. Let us know what you think of Diablo 3 beta. Let us know what you think of Tera beta, and we'll talk to you all on Monday.